What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Being an indie developer is really tough. It's especially tough in the beginning when you have very little knowledge and you don't know what you're doing. It's very difficult to navigate these tricky waters, especially if your goal is to turn your passion into a full-time income. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 of the biggest mistakes I made when I first started making games and which prevented me from gaining any traction and turning my passion into a full-time business that I have today. Mistake number 1, I didn't do proper market research. Therefore, my ideas were never validated, and it was no surprise when I produced games that no one enjoyed playing, and obviously they didn't make any money. I'm not sure what it is about indie developers where we are so protective over our ideas and we are so scared of people stealing our ideas that we never actually share them with anybody. And this is the biggest mistake, especially what I did in the beginning. I never really wanted to share what I was doing with anyone. I wouldn't get any feedback from the community. I wouldn't share it with any other developers or indie devs. And yeah, it was no surprise when I released these games and no one wanted to play them. So the idea is to actually, when you have an idea, you want to get feedback, you want to validate that idea. If you can go to your target audience and tell them about it and see if you get any feedback. And it doesn't have to always be positive feedback. It can be negative, because the negative feedback helps you the most. And that's what helps you to grow and to improve your game or your app. So don't worry about sharing your ideas. I promise you no one's going to steal them, because at the end of the day, execution is what matters. Do you think Candy Crush was the first match 3 game? Of course not. They just executed it better than anyone else. And it's all about execution. Remember, ideas are a dime a dozen, and they, at the end of the day, without any action, they are worthless. Mistake number 2, and that is not finding the right team members. In the beginning, when I was looking for people to help me build my games, like I said, I had very little knowledge and experience, and I was very easily swept up in the fancy words these developers were telling me. And at the end of the day, they were promising me the world and telling me exactly what I wanted to hear. I didn't give them any kind of tests. I didn't ask them the right questions. I didn't do the proper interview process. And needless to say, I was not happy with the work they did. It was completely not aligned with my vision, and yeah, it was just a lot of time wasted. And if you know me, time is way more important than money. Obviously, it hurts when you spend a lot of money on a project that never takes, but the time is something you will never get back. So what I learned over the years was to properly vet different developers, artists. Make sure you ask them the right questions, and always give them sample work to do, just to see if you are happy with it, and then you can proceed with the rest of the project. Don't waste months without any communication and expect that your needs are going to be met. That's just a recipe for disaster. So yeah, just make sure you follow the right process of finding the right people. Mistake number 3, and that is not reaching out to mentors sooner. It wasn't until I reached out to more experienced indie developers and game designers, people that have already been where I want to go in terms of creating a business. It wasn't until I reached out to those people and they kind of guided me and taught me the fundamentals that I needed to apply to my business in order to see some growth. That is when things really started to change for me. Because being an indie developer is sort of like being in a dark room. You're just walking around bumping into things, hoping to find the right way. Whereas you could find someone who's holding a torch that's already been there and has walked that path, and you could just follow them, and they can help you that way. So it's really important, guys. We have tools like LinkedIn. There's really no excuse in this time and age to not be able to find someone. And always approach finding a mentor with the mindset of reciprocal value. That means you offer something in exchange for what they have to offer. So if I want to find an indie developer who's making $1 million a year, that's kind of my goal. I wouldn't just message him on LinkedIn and say, hey, tell me what you know, without offering them anything in return, because chances are that person or individual is very busy and they simply just don't have the time to give out to everyone. So maybe I have a particular skill set, maybe he's needs some work with ASO, for example, or something else, and I can offer that in exchange for his knowledge, or I could outright just pay him a consultation fee, and I can do it that way. So that's really important, guys. Always create win-win situations for other people. You are more likely to get a reply from them in those situations. So let me know in the comments below, what are the biggest challenges for you when it comes to being an indie developer, and what are the kind of challenges that prevent you from turning your passion into a business? I'd love to hear from you. If you did enjoy this content, please smash a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this in the future. I will see you on the next one. Stay safe and peace out.